Welcome. We are standing at the edge of time, looking into the heart of the 14th century. This is Paris, circa 1300. Not the city of wide boulevards and elegant uniformity we know today, but a dense, teeming, and volatile metropolis of perhaps 200,000 souls. It is a city of profound contrasts, where soaring Gothic spires cast long shadows over tangled, muddy lanes, and the scent of piety mingles with the stench of humanity. For the next few minutes, with the aid of AI reconstruction, we will step through the veil. We will walk its medieval streets, lose ourselves in its markets, and witness the raw, vibrant, and often precarious life of a capital on the cusp of a tumultuous century. So come with me. Let's cross that bridge into the past. Our journey begins at the lifeline of the city, the Seine. The river is not a picturesque postcard, but the pulsing, muddy artery of commerce and survival. Dozens of flat-bottomed bateaux and sailing barges crowd the water, their masts a bare forest against the skyline. This is the central nervous system of France, linking the city to Rouen, the English Channel, and the vast inland network. From our vantage point, the city unfolds on both banks, a staggering mosaic of wood, stone, and thatch. To the north, the right bank, a newer, booming commercial district, hums with mercantile energy. To the south, the left bank, the scholarly realm of the university, whispers with intellectual dispute. And dominating the Île de la Cité, the spiritual and physical heart, the soaring, half-built Notre Dame, its twin towers finally complete, a testament to a century of devotion. We cross onto the Grand Pont, the great stone bridge leading to the right bank. But this is no mere crossing. It is less a bridge and more like a continuous, precarious neighborhood perched above the rushing water. 14 mills churn and groan on its piers, their wheels powered by the relentless current. And built upon the bridge itself are tall, narrow houses, their upper stories leaning so close they nearly kiss, creating a dark, tunnel-like street. The air here is thick with the smell of damp stone, flour dust from the mills, and the oily scent of the river. The noise is a constant roar of thunder of the water wheels, the shouts of carters negotiating the narrow passage, the cries of hawkers from tiny shop fronts. Standing here, you can feel the bridge vibrate beneath your feet with the sheer force of life and industry. Stepping off the bridge, we are immediately swallowed by the chaotic, vibrant labyrinth of the right bank. This is the realm of the merchants, the artisans, and the rising bourgeoisie. The streets have names, but you navigate by scent and sound as much as sight. The Rue de la Ferronnerie rings with the hammering of iron. The Rue de la Tisserandrie hums with the clack of looms. The buildings are tall, often 5 or 6 stories, of timber-framed construction, their jettied upper floors leaning out so far they blot out the sky. Down here, the ground is a treacherous mix of mud, refuse, and the occasional runnel of something best not examined. Imagine walking through this canyon, your shoulders brushing wicker baskets, your ears filled with a dozen different languages, Flemish, Italian, Germanol, haggling in the lingua franca of commerce. And now, we arrive at the stomach of Paris. Les Halles, the markets is too gentle a term. This is a roaring, sprawling, open-air engine of sustenance. Long before it was enclosed by stone, this field is a volatile sea of canvas awnings, wooden stalls, and shouting humanity. The air is a potent tapestry of smells, the earthy scent of turnips and leeks, the metallic temps of freshly butchered meat, the pungency of ripening cheese, and the sickly sweet perfume of overripe fruit. Butchers in blood-stained aprons bark. Price's fishwives, hands chapped from cold river water, expertly gut eels and herring. Baskets of grain, bolts of Flemish cloth, and sacks of salt from Bergneuf are unloaded from creaking carts. With modern AI, we can now reconstruct not just the site, but the overwhelming sensory cacophony of this place, the mud, the sheer, vital, messy abundance of it all. Yet for all its energy, this city is a tinderbox. Look up at those towering wooden houses, their thatched roofs dry as bone. Fire is a constant, terrifying specter. A single overturned candle, a spark from a forge, and an entire quarter can be reduced to ash in hours. and the congestion is suffocating. Carts loaded with wine barrels lock wheels, causing traffic jams that last for hours. Their drivers hurling creative insults. There is no police force as we know it, only the watch, and danger lurks in the shadowed alleys just a stone's throw from the main thoroughfares. The beauty of the Sainte-Chapelle's glass, which we'll see, exists in a world mere minutes from this volatile, precarious reality. This reconstruction allows us to grasp that razor's edge between thriving metropolis and catastrophic disaster. Let's move deeper to the political heart. On the western end of the Isle de la Cite stands the Palais de la Cite, the royal palace. It's not a single castle, but a small city within a city. Halls of justice, administrative offices, barracks, and the king's own apartments. And here, nestled within the palace courtyard like a jewel in a rough setting, is the Sainte-Chapelle. Stepping inside is to leave the medieval mud behind entirely. 15-meter walls of stained glass, held by the most delicate stone tracery, transform the space into a vessel of luminous color. In 1300, this shrine houses Christianity's most precious relics, the crown of thorns. The air is cool, scented with incense and beeswax, a stark, intentional contrast to the world outside. Here, the divine is made manifest through light and geometry. A statement of royal piety and power meant to awe every visitor. Crossing to the left bank, the atmosphere shifts again. This is the Latin Quarter, named for the language of learning, that echoes in its streets. We are surrounded by the colleges of the University of Paris, Europe's premier center of theology and philosophy. Students in simple robes cluster around booksellers or argue heatedly on the steps of churches. The buildings are less grand, but packed with intellectual fervor. Yet, this is no ivory tower. These students are known for their volatility, quick to riot over the price of wine or a perceived insult. Their debates and lecture halls on the nature of God can spill out into tavern brawls. Life here is a mix of profound poverty, intense scholarship, and youthful recklessness. I didn't know nearly enough about this chaotic, brilliant energy that thrived just across the river from the merchant gold dot. As we walk, we must remember, this is a city on the brink. The year 1300 sits in a fragile peace. The 14th century will soon unleash its horrors upon Paris, the onset of the 100 Years' War, which will see the city's walls strengthened and its people living under threat. And most devastatingly, the Black Death will arrive in 1348, wiping out perhaps half of this teeming population, leaving empty houses and silent streets in its wake. The vibrant market we just witnessed will know utter despair. The chants from Notre Dame will become pleas for deliverance. This AI reconstruction shows us a peak, a moment of dense human flourishing before the Great Collapse. It makes the achievement all the more poignant, and the loss all the more profound. Let's take one final view from the rising ground of Mont Sainte-Geneviève on the left bank. From here, the view extends across the river, over the sea of gray-tiled and thatched roofs, to the silhouette of the Louvre then, a formidable, defensive keep on the western edge. Not a palace. The hundreds of church steeples, like stone needles, pierce the low-hanging smoke of countless hearths. The city is a living organism, breathing, shouting, trading, praying. You can see the logic of it. The river for transport, the islands for defense, the markets for life, the spires for salvation. Every inch is claimed, used, fought over. It is magnificent, not for its order, but for its overwhelming, chaotic, and resilient humanity. Standing here today, looking at this AI-rendered past, what's remarkable is the sheer density of experience. In our modern cities, functions are separated. In medieval Paris, they were piled atop one another. A slaughterhouse backed onto a church. A scholar's garret overlooked a tannery. Life and death, sacred and profane, beauty and filth existed in intimate daily collision. If we could witness this firsthand, we would be overwhelmed, perhaps horrified, but undoubtedly awestruck by the raw vitality. This was a city that built celestial glass chapels while its streets ran with muck, a place of both staggering genius and brutal survival. Our time in 14th century Paris is ending. We pull back from the narrow streets, from the bustling Grand Pont, from the shadow of Notre Dame. This digital window closes, but the impression remains. History is not just dates and kings, it is the smell of bread in Les Halles, the chill of the Seine Chapelle, the shout of a boatman on the Seine. It is the story of a city, and the 200,000 souls who called it home at the dawn of a daunting century. Thank you for stepping back in time with me. If you could visit any moment in history through an AI reconstruction, which would it be? Let me know in the comments. Until our next journey into the past, farewell.